Welcome to part 3 of our 10-part series on the best HR software of 2026. In this episode, it's all about the best time tracking software, an important category when you're dealing with labor laws, shift workers, multiple locations, project-based billing, and more. But before we dive in, this video is sponsored by several HR leaders, including our title sponsor, Paycom, as well as our other sponsors and partners, Dayforce, Bamboo HR, PDS, and Paypro. What a stellar group of platforms. You can learn more about each of them through the links in the description, and stick around to the end for more resources. All right, let's dive in. Best time tracking software for small businesses. For small businesses, time tracking is often driven by one of two pain points. Either you're managing hourly employees and need a reliable clock in and out system that handles overtime and break compliance, or you're running a project-based business and need a way to track billable hours without relying on everyone's memory or a spreadsheet. The best small business time tracking tools strike a balance. Easy enough for employees to use, low friction clock in and out via mobile, kiosk, or web, ideally something that requires no training to adopt, accurate for compliance, automatic overtime calculations, break enforcement, and state-specific labor law alerts baked in, connected to payroll, export capabilities, or direct integration with Gusto, QuickBooks, ADP, or whichever payroll tool you run. Key requirements at this level include simple scheduling, the ability to create and share shift schedules, allow shift swaps, and manage availability, ideally in the same tool, mobile clock-in with GPS or geofencing, especially important for field-based or remote employees where you need to verify location, overtime and break rule enforcement, automatic alerts when employees are approaching overtime thresholds or missing required breaks, manager workflows, time approval before payroll runs with an audit trail of edits, basic reporting, hours worked by employee, overtime trends, and time off balances. Here are several time tracking platforms consistently chosen by smaller organizations. Note, these are listed alphabetically. You can see the platforms on the left with notable callouts on the right. I won't read through every single one because we have a lot more to cover, but I recommend taking a screenshot and returning to this list later, then setting up demos. There are also links in the description for detailed feature breakdowns in the Select Hub platform, as well as analyst scores. There you go, good time tracking options for small businesses. Best time tracking platforms for mid-market organizations. Mid-market time tracking often grows in two directions: more workforce complexity and higher compliance stakes. You might be managing employees across multiple states, each with different break requirements and overtime rules. Or you're running a project-based business where time tracking ties directly to client billing and profitability reporting, sometimes both. Mid-market time tracking buyers typically look for multi-location and multi-jurisdiction compliance, automatic application of the right overtime and break rules by state, city, or country without someone manually configuring it for each location, scheduling integration, time tracking that connects to shift scheduling so actual hours versus scheduled hours is always visible, project and job code tracking, the ability to assign time to specific projects, clients, or cost centers, not just capture raw hours, integration with HCM and payroll. Time data needs to flow cleanly into whatever HRIS and payroll system you run, without manual exports or reconciliation. Manager dashboards and alerts, real-time visibility into who's clocked in, who's missing, where overtime is building, and where labor costs are trending. Here are several platforms often chosen by mid-market organizations. Again, screenshot this list so you can review in more detail afterward. There are also links in the description for Select Hub's feature-by-feature comparisons and analyst scores, where we dive deeper into head-to-head comparisons and company profiles. We've analyzed popular platforms in detail to help you find the right fit. Before we move on, a quick shout out to our title sponsor, Paycom. Unlike systems that bolt together separate tools, Paycom is truly all-in-one, meaning payroll, HR, time tracking, benefits, compliance, and more all live in one database, with no data re-entry, no app hopping, and no security weak points. Even better, Paycom is built on automation. Their AI engine, iWant, gives your workforce permission-based, command-driven access to employee, candidate, and management dashboard data. Just ask a question and it pulls real-time answers instantly. No navigation required. And with automated time-off decisioning, schedule management, and payroll processing all running in the background, Paycom is designed to take the never-ending flood of administrative decisions off your plate. Thanks to Paycom for supporting this series. Check them out through the link in the description to see if it's the right fit for your organization. Now, back to the show. Best time tracking platforms for enterprise organizations. At the enterprise level, time tracking becomes workforce management infrastructure, and the requirements are substantially different from what a small or mid-market business needs. Enterprise time tracking platforms need to support global time and attendance, multi-country clock-in systems, local labor law compliance in every jurisdiction, and consistent data flow into global payroll, complex scheduling at scale, demand-based scheduling that factors in skill sets, certifications, seniority, labor agreements, and availability across thousands of employees, union and labor agreements, automated enforcement of collective bargaining agreement terms, shift premiums, rest period requirements, bidding rules directly in the scheduling and time system, integration with ERP and workforce planning. Time data feeds not just into payroll, but into financial planning, labor cost modeling, and workforce analytics. Enterprise-grade auditability, complete audit trails for every time entry, edit, and approval, essential for legal defensibility in wage and hour disputes. Here are several platforms consistently chosen by large enterprises. Screenshot this list and dive into the links for SelectHub's feature-by-feature comparisons. A little extra research here could save you significant time and resources. Links to the SelectHub platform are in the description. How industry shapes your time tracking decision. More than almost any other HR software category, time tracking is shaped by industry because the nature of how people work varies enormously, and the compliance stakes vary even more. In manufacturing, you're dealing with shop floor clock-in systems, machine-tied time capture, union break rules, OSHA hours compliance, and shift differential calculations. In healthcare, the complexity comes from clinical scheduling rules, minimum rest periods between shifts, credentialing requirements, FMLA and ADA tracking, and more. In professional services and consulting, the time tracking use case is almost entirely project-based. It's about capturing billable hours accurately, allocating them to the right client and engagement, and connecting labor costs to project profitability. Here are 10 industries along with key time tracking considerations and some vendors to consider for each one. You can screenshot these and then dive deeper using the links to SelectHub in the description. I won't read through every single vendor because we'd be here all day, but it's worth reviewing in SelectHub's platform and comparing side by side in detail. There you have it, an overview of the best time tracking software of 2026, from smaller businesses through to enterprise organizations, and a look at how industry shapes these decisions. For more resources, including pricing guides and SelectHub's database of feature comparisons, check out the links in the description. One more big thank you to the sponsors who made this series possible, including our title sponsor Paycom, as well as our other sponsors and partners, Dayforce, Bamboo HR, PDS, and Paypro. Each of these brings unique value depending on your organization's size, industry, and workforce model. Links to book demos are in the description. I'm Devin Hennig with SelectHub. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.